Hello and welcome again to another episode of Battle Ready.
Ready.
Where today we thought we'd talk about Battletomes.
Battletomes.
So every army gets a Battletome, and all the armies in 3rd edition, they all got one, which is great.
Good.
Yeah.
Compared
So
to
3rd edition, compared to before, where not every army got one. So 3rd edition is sort of like a complete edition of Warhammer, right?
Yes.
All the rules are available. It's fully updated. It's pretty cool. But 3rd edition is also
almost over.
Just about done.
Sad.
So we're going into 4th. Now, we don't really know that much about what 4th is going to look like. We don't know if the rules are going to stay mostly the same, which I would be mostly okay with. I think 3rd edition, there's things I can complain about, for sure. And I'm pretty sure we have on this channel.
Yeah.
Complain about it. But I think overall, if you just step back and say, is the system as a whole, with its flaws and its good parts, is it good or bad?
Good.
It's good.
Yes.
It's definitely good. It provides, if the goal is to provide a lot of fun,
it does.
It meets that goal for sure. But with the 4th edition coming out, and we don't know if it's going to be, they're just going to go to indexes, or if they're because all the rules are changing, they're putting in strength and toughness, right?
No.
Or you're doing other stuff, changing things so wildly. Or if it's going to be like it was from 2nd to 3rd, where maybe they make some changes, take some things out, put some things in, but it's sort of the same animal.
I like that.
I'd be okay either way, actually.
I would.
I think if the stuff they change is good, I think indexes would be the best. Because then you get all the rules for all the stuff right up front.
But then you'll get lower.
Well, eventually, I don't think they'll stop making Battletomes. Because that's money.
Yeah.
They're just printing money with those things. So I don't think that's going to stop. But at least at the very beginning, you got all the rules for every army.
Yeah.
You're not in a situation where like Night Haunt were at the beginning. Remember, we had to wait almost a year for that Night Haunt time. And from that first year, they were
sad.
They were in rough shape. They just did not play well with the new rules.
They barely did anything.
So with indexes, you don't have that problem. Yeah. Now, if the indexes are bad, that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's worse than keeping it how it is and just waiting for your new Battletome. So good indexes are good. Carrying over is the next option. Bad indexes are the worst. But the thought came to us, and I thought, well, we have all our Battletomes now.
We do.
Whether they index or not, Battletomes are going to come, I think, in the next edition. They want to keep making money. That's what they do. So, but what could Battletomes be? Is there anything that we should change? I mean, I don't know if we should, but should anything be changed to make Battletomes better? And I think the answer is yes. I think Battletomes are cool on the whole, but I think they could be made a lot better.
Really? Yeah.
So, a couple things right off the top of the bat. First, I'd eliminate all War Scrolls. I'd just take all the War Scrolls out of the Battletomes, and I would put those War Scrolls in the app, or you could sell the War Scroll sheet cards, right? And I would just put them there and say, because I think the War Scrolls in the app are still free. And I would just put them there. I don't need 40 pages, 30 or 40 pages of War Scrolls.
For Stormcast.
Yeah, for Stormcast especially. I don't need it. Because first of all, I never use them. I hardly ever use my book that way. I think the book's actually sort of clunky when you're looking up War Scrolls. And that's the sort of thing you sort of see one time. And there's going to be tons of pages, at least for us, of units we don't have.
Yep.
We don't plan to get.
Yep.
And it's just wasted. It's just wasted paper and wasted ink. We're never even going to reference those pages. So get rid of all that. I would, when it comes to the matched play rules, I'm of two minds whether to leave that in or not. I think you could leave it in because I don't think they actually take up that many pages.
They only take up 2 at most.
But I could see...
Or 3.
Well, because you got sub-faction pages, and then you've got artifacts and spell
those are command traits and enhancements. Those are not matched play things.
Yeah, okay, so I'm thinking about just the rules. Battle traits, command ability, all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, it doesn't take up that many pages. So maybe we keep it in just to be complete. But I could also see that moving to the app or that moving somewhere else, right? I could see that. I don't know about that one. But the painting stuff in it is fine. I actually don't think the painting stuff in it is that great. But it doesn't take up that many pages, and it's fine. What I would do, the two major changes I would do is all those war scrolls that we got rid of, right? That's like 20 pages.
Yep.
That's lore.
Yeah.
And when I say lore, I mean narrative.
Yeah.
Because right now you get like, oh, here are liberators. Liberators are so cool because they do these things. Here are sequitors. Sequitors are so cool because they do these things. Here is the Knight Incantor. Knight Incantor is so cool because he does this thing. And it's like, you're just telling me all the units. And I feel like there's way too much of that. I think a little bit of that might be good, right? So that you, when you're buying the units, you're buying your, Sisters of Slaughter or whatever, you have in your mind, like how cool they are. I think that's fine. But that's all they have. We're going to take those War Scroll pages and we're going to turn it into narrative. Here's a short story about a really cool Rotbringer, a little Drecky Flint. And when I say short story, I mean like
2 pages.
Yeah, like a page or 2 pages. It's very, very short. Here's some margin stuff, and in the margin, they've written down like it's one of the Cities of Sigmar guys chronicling their Dawnbringer crusade, and then you get like 6 or 7 entries over the course of those 20 pages, and it goes from like we're so happy we're getting out there all the way to we're being attacked on all sides, but luckily Talia Vedra is here to save us. Whatever. But it tells a little story over time. So I would put narrative in.
Yes.
For sure. I would cut down on the unit lore. Yeah, I'd probably cut down on it a little bit. And then the other thing I would do is
the other thing you would do?
I would add in narrative battle plans specific to the faction. Because right now, most Battletomes have 1 or 2 that are meant to be played in Path to Glory. Right?
We have denied that.
But we're playing them, but we're not as part of Path to Glory. We're playing them. But they're fun because it's like, instead of standing in circles, it's, we've got to rescue this hostage, or, we've got to escape the board, or, we've got to, whatever it is. And those games are fun. And then you would have, every faction would have, let's say 6 battle plans of just them doing things that they're known for. So Stormcast, you could have a thing where they come in and they obliterate Chaos Army. And then the next
Orcs.
one, they're facing off against orcs and they have to defend this village before it gets ransacked. And if the orcs can ransack the different houses, then the orcs win. Okay. Oh, here they are facing off against
death monsters.
So it's like you get to see them having 6 adventures that you can then play on the tabletop. I think something like that would be so cool. I also think Battletomes would be a good place to put like a Path to Glory thing. I'm not in love with 3rd edition's Path to Glory. It's
better than 2.0.
Maybe. But it sort of feels to me like a little bit of Warhammer and then homework. You play Warhammer and then you have some homework. It doesn't feel like you're making a narrative. It feels like you're just playing a regular game.
It's super felt like I was making a narrative.
You think Path to Glory feels like you're making a narrative?
Yes.
I don't. I feel like it feels like you're playing a game, and then afterwards you're like, oh, I buy this upgrade for 10 points. Oh, I buy this thing for 4 points. Oh, I get this veteran ability. Instead of being like, oh, there was the time when we came upon the swamp and we blah, 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 blah. I would like something that's a little bit more like that. But that's what I think Battletomes should be. I think we should have way less focus on the rules. Maybe even no rules. And then way more
So Battletomes
lore.
would just be lore about armies?
I think it would be lore primarily, narrative battle pack secondarily, and maybe if you're playing the Stormcast narrative, there's some extra rules. Just like the General's Handbook puts some extra rules for the match play. Maybe if you're playing Stormcast Battle Pack, there's some extra rules for Stormcast, right?
Yep.
You're playing Auric Warclans Battle Pack, couple extra rules for that. I mean, you could do all kinds of cool stuff with it, right? If there's a Path to Glory, hopefully a better Path to Glory, that would go in there too. And that would pretty much be it. If you wanted the rules in there, like I said, I'm sort of 2 minds. I think I would take them out, but if a lot of people said, no, we need to keep them in, I'd be okay with it. I'm not going to fight that hill. But make the Battletome something that somebody who wants the army would want, right? Because I think a lot of people, if you just want the rules, they can go on the internets on many different sites and get the rules for free.
Yes.
Right. So if all you want to do is you're just one of those players who's like, I just need to know the rules so I can roll some dice, play some games, and that's all I care about. I don't care about the lore behind my army. Who cares?
Yeah.
Then fine, the Battletome's not for you, right? But if you're somebody who wants that lore, who wants to get immersed, and you want to feel like you know these characters, and you want to feel like you understand what these units are doing out in the wild, right? Here's a narrative where we fight a death army. Here's a narrative where we struggle against destruction. Here's a narrative, right? All those different things.
Here's a narrative
And
where we burn meat trees.
Where you have a narrative in there about like, okay, at the beginning of 3.0, what happens? Kragnos comes out, just demolishes almost entirely Excelsis. Right?
Then destroys the Dreadspine Fortress.
And then is never heard of again for 3 years. We just never hear of him. He's like, no more lore. But maybe in your Battletome is your faction's reaction to that. So your faction's like, your Stormcast, you're like, holy mackerel, we're trying to rebuild Excelsis. We're trying to support these Dawnbringers, but we're stretched super thin. And with the burning skies above us, we don't even know if we can do enough. So you get this real claustrophobic feel.
Yeah.
Then you go to Flesh Eater Courts, and Flesh Eater's like, you know what?
We need more blood.
Kragnos has just popped out, and
the gash is gone.
And the gash is gone. So now is the time where we're going to feed our king, and you could get hints about how his blood's going to be used in the Dawnbringer Crusade narrative and stuff like that. So like stuff like that would be cool. So it's centered each faction in the world. It wasn't just here's some stuff the faction does. That could be in there, but then it'd be like here's what they're doing in the world of Warhammer, in the mortal realms. Here's what they're doing.
Because the only thing you really get, there's a tiny bit of that in the Battletomes where it's just Excelsis under siege, like the squares of little blips.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
That's the only bit.
Yes, almost every Battletomes has like 1 or 2 pages where they're like, here's the recent events, and there's 1 paragraph for each recent event. And some of them are sort of cool.
I know.
But you get 1 paragraph.
It's like,
no, this should be this thing right here needs to be like a page and a half. Give me more. Tell me what's going on. And then how are they reacting to it? What does Marathi think about it? What is this what's going on?
Tell me.
Yeah, I think that's been a major miss on 3.0 Battletomes. And so Battletomes going forward, I would want to see them cater way more to people who are interested in the army rather than catering to people who are just interested in the rules.
Yeah.
Other thoughts about improving Battletomes?
Nah.
No?
I don't got nothing.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments below what you think about Battletomes. Are they perfect the way they are? There can be no changes. What do you think of my idea about removing War Scrolls? I think that it seems pretty obvious to me that they should get out of there.
Maybe what we should do is just have 1 page of all the War Scrolls loaded in tiny little bits. You have to use like a 30 magnifying glass.
Yes, you know what you're talking about?
Huh?
An index.
No!
But yeah, tell me what you think. Do you use the Battletome as a reference to your War Scrolls?
No, never.
I mean, that just seems real inconvenient to me. And what would you like to see for Battletomes going forward? Would you like to see something more narratively, lore inclined, or something completely different? We've missed the mark. But this has been another episode of Battle Ready.
Ready.
Thanks so much for watching.